politics of it as well. So we often do forget about the planet that we're on. We go about our daily lives and don't really think about how it affects us and what we're doing to the planet. But today, here we are. Just by being here, you're showing the government that we won't lay back whilst they ignore the major issues facing our planet. I study a degree, like I said, in environmental science, and the thing that scares me is how many people choose not to believe because they do not look into the science. I find the ignorance astounding. This isn't a matter of belief. Whether people believe or not, they cannot argue with fact, like Donald Trump, a well-known denier, even though he tries to cover it. I saw a video recently where he was asked for his opinion on climate change, and his response, I think that the United States has tremendous wealth. Yeah, we have great wealth. It went on like that for about 3 minutes. There was no real answer. We have tremendous wealth. We made oil pipelines. I did that before any other president. That's pretty much how it goes. Donald Trump. Tremendous wealth under his feet. So, we cannot eat money, Trump. That's what I want to say. And to everybody else who wants to make money out of this. Thankfully, I've heard over 100,000 people have rallied in America today, and that's a pretty big middle finger to the government. And of course, there are thousands and thousands in London and all over the UK as well, including here, so well done. So, Trump runs the most powerful country in the world and influences millions of people around the globe who do not look into science because they've been told that global warming and climate change doesn't exist. We hate to admit that we are the cause of something so devastating, so what do? We deny. The destruction of a planet is a pretty big weight to have on our shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I had a pound for the amount of times I've heard, do your research, I'd be rich. And the people usually saying do your research did their research on YouTube or other sources, not from science. The more I learn about the science of climate change in my studies, the more it actually scares me. There are major changes that are going to happen which will affect us in our lifetimes, and I can see there are very young people here today who it will affect as well. I can see lots of young people, and so we need to talk about the science. The Earth has had 5 mass extinctions before now. All but one, which was the dinosaur extinction, involved climate change produced by greenhouse gas. That is scary. Currently, we are pumping carbon into the atmosphere at an accelerated rate. In 2016, the Paris Accords established 2 degrees as a global goal, and now no industrial nation is on track to reach these commitments. With the climate summit coming up, we need to know what can happen. The last time the Earth was as warm as it is now was over 11,000 years ago. So what if it continues to rise? The world will be a lot drier, which will impact economies and agriculture, weather patterns. Rising temperatures will damage ecosystems and species that cannot adapt, including those in coral reefs and Arctic areas. That is happening now. Coastal regions and small islands worldwide are at risk of disappearing as sea levels rise due to the Arctic ice melting at continuously faster rates. 2 degrees Celsius could determine the existence of whole nations, the hottest being forced to migrate, causing mass migrations of refugees. And if it gets hotter, to 4 or 6 degrees, that's what scientists are looking into at the moment. We are looking at substantial species extinctions, large risks to global food security, and an inability to work outside and live in some areas of the world. But we don't care about that. A lot of us don't care because the people who are doing the least to affect the climate are the ones who are being most punished by it. This is crazy, and at this point, it will be irreversible. It will be completely irreversible. Natural disasters will happen daily, almost. This is not what we want our future generations to go through. We want them to look back on us and see what we did. We can save the world, and it starts now. We might be the only life in the living universe. Yeah, it's improbable, but we might be. Do we want to destroy that for greed? No, we don't. So cycle to work, protest like you're doing today, eat sustainably, and educate people, most importantly, please. We can do this.